Hi there, my name's Sherry Forsyth. I'm a grief coach and a peak performance coach, and I'm speaking today about how difficult it is to approach a Christmas when you've had a recent and very big loss in your life. In other words, you've lost someone that you really loved, and how difficult it is to then weather the Christmas period. Society makes it even more difficult, Western society, in that they expect us to be over our grief within a week and back to work and loving life again. There's a huge misunderstanding about the whole process of grief. It is a very normal process. It's a very normal feeling to feel sad when we've lost someone that we really love. And what the Western society seems to want to do is to medicate it, to make out that it's an illness. Actually, no. When you've lost someone you really, really loved, how normal is it to feel sad? And therefore, how abnormal is it that the expectation of us over Christmas is to be happy and joyful and as if nothing has happened, as if we've not lost someone. So, there are a few things that I want to say, not only to the people who are grieving, but maybe to the other people out there who know people who are grieving deeply at this time. I want to start off by saying I really feel for you in this time of the build-up to Christmas, when you've had lost somebody that you love deeply. Please receive my condolences. I know what a difficult time it is. So, as the person who is recently bereaved, do we want to be all excited about Christmas? No, we can't be. Do we want to put up our Christmas tree and be all joyful? No, we can't. We haven't got that emotional capacity. Do we want to have huge family gatherings when everybody's excited about the Christmas gifts and seeing each other, and there's lots of happiness and joy, which is part of a normal family Christmas? No, we can't be part of that. We haven't got the emotional energy to be joyful. We can't feel it because we're sad. Do we have the energy to go and buy a lot of Christmas gifts? We haven't got that energy. What are we wanting to celebrate at Christmas time? We don't really have much if we've had a recent loss to celebrate. It's a very, very difficult time because the expectation is on Christmas Day, everybody's got to be really happy. And we find it difficult because we are so sad, because part of us, a really important part of who we are, whether it's a parent, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a very good friend, whether it's a child, that person isn't with us. And so we feel that we can't really be particularly joyous, particularly for the first few Christmases. It does get easier and it does get better. But I'm speaking about those first few really raw Christmases and how we can cope. So there are lots of things that we feel we can't do. But there again are quite a few things that will help you. And so one of the things that we found very helpful after the loss of our younger daughter Kerry was, before any emotive day, whether it was a birthday, certainly before the first few Christmases, on Christmas Eve we would write a letter as a family. We would each write a letter to Kerry or to each other about how we were feeling with the fact that there was a big emotional day the next day. And we would gather and read those letters on Christmas Eve. It was very emotional. There were lots of tears. But what it allowed us to do was that we could then approach Christmas Day in a much calmer frame of mind. So this writing a letter the night before a really important occasion is a really, really valuable tool. And along those lines, journaling generally is a very valuable tool for you to capture how you are feeling without burdening someone else with your thoughts. But that's another topic for another day. What else can you do to make Christmas Day easier? For the first year particularly, go to somewhere you've never been so that you can't compare. There won't be lots of memories that are now going to be very, very painful and sharp. So go to a place you've never been to before, so you are creating new memories. If you can't go to a new place, you have to stay maybe at home, especially during COVID, a lot of us are doing that, then what I would recommend is don't do the same things that you always used to do. So for example, in our life, my mother-in-law used to come across to our house very early in the morning, and we'd have rusks and coffee and tea. The kids would open their presents, and then we would go to church. And then there would be a big family lunch afterwards. So it's those kind of things that are very traditional that it'll help if you do it differently. So in other words, so sorry to mum-in-law, she actually can't come over before church. We can't have that tradition. We might not even want to go to church. We might find all of those things too painful. So don't do the same things that you always do, because it will be very poignant. It will be very painful for you. Also, I think one of the biggest things is be gentle with yourself and with your family. Know that your family, even if they are saying things to you that might be hurtful and painful, know that they really don't mean that. It's just that they haven't got the capacity to know what we are feeling. They don't know what we need. So I ask you to treat them with compassion, but equally to be very, very gentle on yourself. And don't push in any way during the build-up to Christmas, and certainly on Christmas Day. If it is beyond your capacity to put on a smile, then maybe find time to just go away and be on your own for a bit. It is very exhausting to put on a huge front and try and pretend that you are all happy and excited, when actually inside your heart is shattering into a million bits. So be very, very gentle on yourself. I think also it's important to say that it's the first few Christmases that are really tough. And what we have always done is we found some symbol to make sure that our daughter Kerry is part of our Christmas Day. So we always have a candle that is dedicated to the memory of Kerry. Nobody else knows about it except our close family. We know that that particular candle is just remembering Kerry. And it's nearly 19 years since Kerry died, and every single Christmas we have that special candle just for us so that we can feel close to her. So there are many other ways you can do it. Lots of people will put pictures of their the loved ones on the Christmas tree or close to the Christmas tree, or maybe have a photograph in a very prominent place with a candle next to it. Find what works for you. And particularly if it's a recent loss, do whatever it takes to make you feel close to that person. Do whatever it takes to make you feel close to that person. And hopefully in time that will become a tradition that is, it becomes very comforting to you. So can we expect that forever we are not going to enjoy Christmas and that we're not going to be able to be joyful in our lives? No, we will eventually recover our ability to be joyful. We will recover our ability to be able to feel content. We will recover our ability to actually be able to enjoy the sentimental feelings of Christmas in time. How long? How long is a piece of string? Everybody is different. But there will come a time when once again you can feel very joyful on Christmas Day, but don't expect that of yourself if you've had a very recent loss. It's an expectation that society puts onto us, but it's very unrealistic and incredibly difficult. So at this time of building towards Christmas, a week away, be very, very gentle on yourself. And I don't wish you a joyous Christmas, because that's not really possible with a recent bereavement. But what I do wish you is that you can maybe write the letters to your beloved on Christmas Eve, read them. There probably will be lots of tears from the men and the women, and that's fine. And I wish you then that you can have a more peaceful Christmas Day and a more peaceful festive season. So I will be probably dropping off a few more tips in the next few days on how to cope with Christmas, but that's the most important points I've brought to your attention today. So don't force yourself. Only do what you feel you can do. Do something to make that person feel part of your Christmas celebrations or your Christmas decoration, or that they are part of your Christmas Day. And so I wish you peace and I wish you calm on this in this lead up to Christmas 2020. And as always, thank you so much for listening. And if you feel that somebody else can benefit from this video, I would love you to share it, because my goal is just to make, even if it makes Christmas for one person that little bit easier, then I've achieved my goal.